People often ask me how to find a business idea, how they could find something unique that they could implement and do business with. Before we start, I want to tell you, please stay with me till the end of that recording. We'll have a competition and something to win at the end. And also, I will resolve the competition about who is my co-author in the book, the greatest business teacher and personal performance coach in the world, who I co-author a book with. So stay with me till the end. And now we come to the topic. And I will tell you at the beginning something you probably don't want to hear because it's very unpopular, but this is just truth. I have the impression that people think they need a unique, original, disruptive idea, and then they need a lot of money, and then somehow magically this idea will materialize, will become true, and they will have a great business and make a lot of money. And this is just not true for several reasons. And I think this comes from the media. Media want to show you great ideas and ingenious people who just had this idea and then they became an overnight success. But it doesn't work that way in reality. In reality, the idea is maybe 1% of your success. The business idea is greatly overvalued. In reality, 99% of your success, or even more, is the execution, is your ability to execute on your ideas, on your plans, on your business model, on your business plan. And this is what most people don't want to hear. And the truth is that you don't need an original, a unique, a revolutionary idea in order to be successful in business. In fact, most of the billionaires I have interviewed, they didn't have an original idea. Then they went into business in traditional industries with the same business model as everybody else, but they just outperformed everybody else. They won on execution. They were just much more performant in what they did. So you can become even a billionaire without an original business idea. And most billionaires do. And on the other hand, you can have the greatest, the most ingenious, the most revolutionary, disruptive idea. But if you are not able to execute that idea, nothing will happen. You won't achieve anything. And there is this other aspect. Many companies, especially in the tech industry, where the role of the idea may be a little bit more than in the other industries, they started with completely different idea that they became successful with. So even if you start with the wrong idea and you have the right team, the right power to execute, you can change the idea, you can find the right idea on the way, or improve on your idea, or as they say in the startup scene, you can pivot your company. For example, Twitter started as a podcasting company, and then they found in one of the functionalities, they found the idea or the core of what later became the main business model and how they became successful. PayPal started actually as a security software company for Palm Pilots, for these little devices that were before smartphones and so on. Palm Pilots, if you remember. And so they started with that, and then they evolved into a global payment system. So it was a completely different idea they had at the beginning. So you see, it is not important to have the right idea at the beginning. It is much more important to actually start doing something, and then with step by step to improve on that. Most people start in the wrong point in finding the idea, in finding what their business should be about. They think they need this idea, they are looking for something unique, and so on and so on. But this is a wrong place to start. I will now give you how you find your business idea in 3 steps. And the first step is actually more important than the idea itself, is to find the right field of your activity. In what industry, in what topics, in what field of expertise you should become active. You should go into business. How to find it? Well, there is a so-called hedgehog principle that I learned from Chip Wilson. Chip Wilson is a Canadian billionaire, founder of LULULEMON. I have talked about him in one of my previous videos. Watch my previous videos, you will find it. But what he told me is how to find the area where you should go into business, where you have a chance to become really successful in business. And this is the first step in finding your right idea. And how you do it? You draw 3 overlapping circles. In the first circle, you put all the things you are passionate about, you like to do, you are interested in. In the second circle, you put all the things you are good at, and you could become the best in the world, or at least the best in your market. So all the things where you have the potential of becoming really the best. Why is it like that? The first circle, it's important to have passion, to have interest in what you do, because you will have to overcome all these obstacles. In the second circle, you put the things you are good at and you have the potential to become the best in. Why? Because you will always have competition. So you will have to prevail over the competition, to outperform the competition, to just be better than the competition in order to win in the game of business. In the third circle, you put all the things you can actually make money with, you can earn money with. Those things that satisfy all these 3 conditions. These are the candidates of the areas of business where you can go into business. And in these areas, you should look for the ideas. How to do it, we'll talk in the next steps. This was the first step. The second step is to become proficient in that area. It means to learn as much as possible in that area, about that area of business, about doing business in that area, and also to get as much experience as possible in that area. And how do you do it? To learn, of course, you read a lot of books, right? You go to conferences, you read the magazines, you can network with people from that industry, go to industry events, go to not only conferences, but go to industry fairs. Look what kind of products and services come up in the market. So this is how you learn about the industry. Of course, you should also get real hands-on experience in that industry. So you can get employed, you can get a job in that industry in different roles in that industry. And this is what I always say: don't work for money, work to learn something. So if you are going to go into business and you don't know how this industry works, go and do it in that industry, get some experience, and find also some contacts in that industry, right? For example, Özyeğin, this is the wealthy self-made man in Turkey. He told me he would recommend everybody at first to go to job and spend some years learning that business and then go into business themselves, because that increases your chances of success. If you go into business without any knowledge, without any experience, without any skills in that industry, your chances of success are minuscule. You will burn a lot of capital before you actually learn what to do. And it doesn't mean you need to repeat everything you have learned or do the same way it was done or it is being done in this industry. Of course, you can get experience also as a doing service for that industry, keeping in touch with that industry, right? But when you do that, where you are getting that experience, when you are learning about that industry, then you should look for unresolved problems in that industry. Look from the perspective of the customer, and this is the third step. Look from the perspective of the customer and look for problems customers have, or maybe needs the customers have that are unserved or underserved or overpriced in that industry, ways to do things differently, more efficiently. Maybe something like, the dogmas of the industry. In the industry, it has always been done that way, and it needs to be done that way. We don't even think twice about doing it a different way or anything. So these dogmas you should look closely at, and then challenge them and think, is it really true? Maybe look at other industries and maybe with similar processes, similar business models, and look how they do it in that industry. And usually there are industries which are more developed or more progressive, and there are industries which are more backward, and you can transfer actually solutions from the more progressive industries, more modern industries, into more backward industries. So this is the third step, right? So now you are looking actually for the idea, and the idea comes from unresolved problems, from underserved needs, from efficiency deficits. This is where ideas come from. And actually, there is a creative process also to find such an idea. But really, you should look for that idea after doing the first two steps. And most people start with finding an idea without knowing what industry they should go into, and without having a clue about that industry. So you should do at first the first two steps, and then go into the third step and look for the idea. Because when you learn a lot and when you get experience, you will find the deficiencies of that industry, of the business models in that industry. And if you are not able to do that, there are workshops on creative idea finding. For example, I know a free of charge workshop on Google Campus. They don't sell anything. It is called How to Get the Perfect Business Idea. It is, I think, in Google Campus in Warsaw. You can go check it out. There are certainly free workshops on that in different in different locations. There is actually a methodology to seek for the business idea, but after you have knowledge about that industry, and after you know in which industry you want to become active. And there are also services where you can actually buy ideas. I know of upcoming service LEONARDO League, where you can sell and buy business ideas. And so if you can't find an idea yourself, you can still buy it. But at the end, as I told you, idea is just a very little part of the entire puzzle. Now, competition. Share with me your results from the hedgehog principle. What is the industry you have found in the overlap of these three circles? And also share these videos with your friends, with your loved ones, with people who are looking for business ideas, who are in the same situation. Share this video. The best shares and the best comment will get a copy of the book I am co-authoring with the best business teacher and personal performance coach in the world. Who is this guy? Now we will come to the resolution of the competition we had a week ago about who is my co-author. And maybe I will introduce him telling some facts about him. He was a CEO of 250 million real estate development company. He consulted thousands of companies, including some billion-dollar companies. He has traveled and worked in over 100 countries on 6 continents. He is the world's greatest business teacher and personal performance trainer, having spoken to over 5 million people in over 5,000 talks and seminars throughout 70 countries. His topics are leadership, self-esteem, selling, creativity, goals, strategy, and success philosophy. He has published over 80 books, including some New York Times bestsellers, among them Eat That Frog, Psychology of Achievement, and Maximum Achievement. Who is it? Yes, you got it. Some of you got it right. Brian Tracy. The book I co-author with him and some other entrepreneurs from around the world has the title Ready, Set, Go. And here you can see the cover of the special edition. In my chapter, I write about the lessons I have gathered from the challenges I undertake, like ultra running, like my global book project. And I write about the conclusions that allowed me to achieve goals that I considered impossible to achieve for me, like running 111 kilometers in one piece through the Sahara Desert, and also things that nobody has done before, like meeting and interviewing over 24 billionaires from around the world for my book project. This special edition with my signature I give away to the winner of the competition I announced a week ago. Go there to that video and you will find who is the winner. The book will be published on November 30th on Amazon, and it will be available in the physical form and also as a Kindle. If you find my content valuable, don't forget to subscribe here below and also hit the ring button. You will be informed about new videos that I published, and I talk here about the secret knowledge of billionaires, of the best entrepreneurs in the world, knowledge that wasn't available until now. And if you have among your friends, among your loved ones, entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial people, please share this video with them. They will thank you for that content. And I encourage you to keep watching. There are a lot of interesting videos that will amaze you. Here you will find some of my best videos. So keep watching and see you in my next video.